Every family tree tool has a challenge when it comes to displaying multiple marriages. This doesn't fit the usual streamlined tree view. Here's a woman in my own tree, an ancestry. The view is showing her parents, her husband, and her siblings and their spouses. This woman married 3 times. By default, only one spouse is shown. That little circle in the top left indicates there are more. Click on the icon and you see the details of all 3. And you can choose to switch to displaying every spouse at all times. I can turn it on here for this particular lady, turn on a second spouse and turn on a third spouse, or you can go to the tree viewing options up here, and over here you can set your tree to always view all spouses. That's off by default for a new tree. You can turn it on. So here I have it turned on, and you can see that it's not a great display. It's not obvious which male on this line is Madeline's husband and which is a brother. You have to pay particular attention to the connecting lines. If you have a lot of multiple marriages in your tree, the display can become very cluttered. That's why Ancestry has that display option turned off by default. Here's another way of looking at your family tree. A spreadsheet where every person is a single row. You've got names, birth details, death details, parent names, and there's more. If I scroll over to the right, spouse first name, last name, marriage date for spouse number 1, and entries for spouse 2 and for spouse 3. In my case, that's where it stops because I don't have anyone with more than 3 spouses in my family tree, but that'll go as far to the right as you have marriages in your tree. So just scrolling down the spouse 1 section, it's easy to see where I'm missing marriage dates, and that's a good target for research. Another thing that jumps out is that I'm missing the last name. If I was to filter where the last name is a blank, I have 9 entries, and as a bit of a clue, although the clue is in the name, if I scroll over to the left and I look at the gender, the person for whom that is a spouse is male, these are female, and I'm missing the maiden names. That's a good highlight of missing details in my tree. If I take off that filter, or rather select all, and I can see at a glance again, if I scroll my eye down the spouse 2 section, that it's pretty sparse, and spouse 3 is likely even more sparse. I quickly want to see who in my tree happens to have 3 marriages. I'll take off the blanks, 2 people, and this person here, if I scroll over to the left, is Madeline, whom I highlighted in my tree. Getting your tree into this spreadsheet has a lot of the same steps I showed in a previous video. That spreadsheet had birth and death details, but didn't have marriages. A lot of you asked for marriage and spouses, so here's the new process. If you followed the previous tutorial, good news is that there is only one small change to the content that I give you to copy and paste. I'm going to speed run through the process here with the assumption that you've been through it before. If what I'm doing isn't clear, you haven't done it before, and you want the full walkthrough, there's a link right now at the top of the screen. I will be showing you how to run Python code on a free cloud platform. Now if you're thinking, I don't want to mess around with code, I just want the spreadsheet, I've got you. I have an online service where you just upload your family tree file and get a nicely formatted spreadsheet. There's a link in the description below, and it's super cheap. But if you prefer to do things yourself, keep watching. First, export your tree as a GEDCOM file. Here I'm doing that in Ancestry. I'm downloading it to my downloads folder. When I unzip that downloaded folder, I get a file with the .ged extension. That's the GEDCOM file. Next, I open Google Colab, a free platform where I can run code. It's free with a Google account. I start a notebook for the code. I click on the folder icon, wait for the folders to appear here, click on sample data, ignore the files that are already there, hover over sample data, click on the ellipsis and choose upload. And I upload the GEDCOM file, click open, click OK, and your GEDCOM file will appear in the sample data folder on the left. Now we're going to copy and paste and run some lines of code. We get them from the companion article, the link in the description. In the table of contents, jump to install my GEDCOM package. Copy this line, go back to Google Colab, paste it into this cell and hit the run button. And you've now installed my simple GEDCOM package that makes this process simple. Now click on the plus code item in the top menu there to give yourself another code cell. Go back to the companion article and scroll down to step 6. You're going to copy these 3 lines, and if you've done this before, there's one difference in the 3rd line. And the difference is that I've added both the gender and the name suffix and also marriages. So copy that back into Google Colab and paste it into that cell. But don't run this yet, you have one more change to make. The full explanation is in the companion article. This file location in the second line is an example that isn't your GEDCOM file. You need to edit that. So hover over your GEDCOM file on the left here, click the ellipsis and choose copy path. Then delete what's within the quotations and paste your own path. Now you can click run and watch the sample folder on the left and your CSV file will appear. And there it is. Just expand that there and you can see mine. So you can click on the ellipsis and choose download and it will come down to your downloads folder. Here it is in mine. And now we're going to open the CSV file in a spreadsheet. There's a trick here that ensures that the dates in your tree aren't misinterpreted and mangled by the spreadsheet application. The process to ensure that is different between Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel. I'll do both. I'll start with Sheets, which is a little simpler. Open a new spreadsheet, go to File, Import, Upload, and choose your CSV file. Now here's the key. You need to change this setting, convert text to numbers, dates and formulas. Make sure you turn that setting off. That means dates are kept in the same format as in your tree. Now go ahead and import the data. Before we look at the data, I'll go to the same process of importing but in Excel and then we'll come back to the data. When using Excel, don't double click on the CSV file. Instead, start Excel and open a new worksheet. So I'm in a blank workbook here. Go to Data, Get Data, from File, choose from Text CSV, and from here, choose your CSV file and click Import. And on this page, down here on the right, click on Transform Data, and this opens Power Query Editor. From here, we will tell Excel to use the first row as the header. Just click on that. And then we're going to click on this little square here. We're going to choose columns, keep select all columns, click OK. And then expand data type. It is set to text, just set it to text again. And then up over here, click on close and load. Give it a minute. So I want a normal spreadsheet. So I'm going to come over here to the right. I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete that query and connection. Click yes to delete and then I'll close that box. Then I am going to go to table design because this is in a special format here. I want it as a normal spreadsheet. I'm going to go to table design and I'm going to click on convert to range. Click yes and now I have a normal spreadsheet but it's got these different colors, right? And I don't particularly want this every second row in green, so I am going to reformat this. First things first, then I will highlight the first row, expand on home. That is currently in white text. I want it to be in with normal text. So click on automatic there. So now I'll highlight the entire set and I will click home, expand the fill color and choose no fill. And that now is a normal looking spreadsheet. I do want the top row to freeze. Click view and I'll hit freeze pane, freeze top row. And now we're done with the Excel special formatting, and everything that comes next you can do either in Excel or in Google Sheets. Scroll over to the right in either and you'll start seeing what I've added from the last version of this. I added, because people were looking for it, the suffix, which can be, senior, junior. I think useful for Americans. I don't have any suffixes in my tree because I don't use it, but it was asked for, so I put it in. People also asked for the gender, M, F, and then after these IDs, these are the unique IDs that are in the GEDCOM file. You probably don't need to use them, but here is the marriage details. Each marriage detail has the spouse first name, the spouse last name, and the marriage date. And then that is the unique ID that is in the GEDCOM for that particular marriage. I scroll down. You can see that I have many people with one marriage. I have a lot less with a second spouse. And the second spouse is spouse 2, first name, last name. In this case, I don't have a marriage date. That's the ID. And very sparsely filled here is spouse 3. If I scroll down to see, here's a person with 3 spouses. And here is the person I was looking at the intro. And that was, scroll to the left here, Madeline. So Madeline, her first husband, marriage date, her second husband, that marriage date, and her third husband with that marriage date. Now, that's it for me. But the only reason that is cut off at spouse number 3 is that I don't have any other person in my tree with a fourth spouse. However far to the right this goes, you'll know what is the maximum number of marriages in your tree. The most I've seen is 6. And if you're looking for a quick way to find the people with, let's say, 3 marriages, go to the ID column because that has to be filled in. You may not have a first name, you may not have a last name, you may not have a marriage 3 date. But if I go to home, sort and filter, put a filter onto this family 3 ID, and I want to take off the blanks, and there are the 2 people in my tree that have 3 spouses. I take off that filter, so I'll clear that filter, and I go to family 2 ID, take off the blanks, but I have more people who have 2 spouses, and that of course includes the people who have 3. So you may be wondering about this line here. I was looking at it myself where I have one spouse here and then I have a family ID, but I haven't first name, a last name, or a date. Is that a bug? No, that is actually what's in my tree. I do have the child of a second spouse in my tree, but I just don't have the details of the actual spouse. So it's a target for my research. And certainly if I take off the filters here again, one of the things that I definitely want to look at is filling in more dates, even with family ID 1, which is people with one spouse. Wife's maiden name can be tricky to find, and the spreadsheet format really is a great way to identify these gaps for research. That's it for the tutorial. This is the 3rd time I've updated this software. The best way to keep up to date is to subscribe to the channel newsletter. There's a link in the description. And of course, click all the buttons on YouTube to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps.